First Contact and Betrayal. Commander Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of the ESV Pathfinder, humanity's first faster-than-light vessel, watching as the swirling colors of hyperspace faded into normal space. Before them hung the massive Galactic Council station, Nexus Prime, a spectacular ring-shaped structure that gleamed like a jewel against the backdrop of unfamiliar stars. "Transition complete, Commander," reported Lieutenant Quan, his fingers dancing across the navigation controls. "We've arrived at the coordinates provided in the invitation." Elena nodded, her dark eyes fixed on the view screen. After decades of receiving transmissions from the Galactic Council, humanity had finally developed the technology to answer their call. The invitation had come 6 months ago, an opportunity for Earth to join the community of spacefaring civilizations. "All systems nominal," reported Chief Engineer Okafor. The prototype drive performed perfectly. Elena straightened her uniform. "Open a channel to Nexus Prime. Let them know Earth has arrived." Communications Officer Patel nodded. "Channel open. This is Commander Elena Reyes of the Earth ship Pathfinder. We come in peace as representatives of humanity." The response was immediate, the alien voice translated smoothly by their systems. "ESV Pathfinder, this is Nexus Prime Control. Welcome to the heart of galactic civilization. Please proceed to Docking Bay 17. Representatives of the Council await your arrival." As the Pathfinder glided toward the massive station, Elena gathered her crew, the best and brightest Earth had to offer. Dr. Marcus Chen, xenobiologist and cultural liaison. Major James Wilson, security chief and military advisor. Dr. Aisha Okafor, engineer and technology specialist. Lieutenant Quan, navigation and pilot. Officer Patel, communications and linguistics expert. "Remember," Elena addressed them, "we represent all of humanity. First impressions matter." The docking procedure went smoothly, and when the airlock opened, they were greeted by an alien delegation. The lead figure stepped forward, tall and slender with iridescent blue skin that seemed to shimmer in the light, 4 arms folded in what appeared to be a ceremonial gesture. "I am Ambassador Exorax of the Ceruleans," the alien said, its voice melodious. "On behalf of the Galactic Council, I welcome humanity to the stars." Elena stepped forward. "Commander Elena Reyes of Earth, we're honored to be here." The station was a marvel of technology and diversity. As Ambassador Xorax led them through its corridors, they encountered beings of countless shapes, sizes, and compositions. Some floated without apparent means of propulsion, others moved on multiple limbs, and a few looked almost human except for subtle differences. The Council consists of 27 spacefaring civilizations, Xorax explained. "Each has contributed unique perspectives and technologies to our collective." Dr. Chen couldn't contain his excitement. "The biodiversity is astounding. The evolutionary paths represented here." Xorax's upper limbs made a gesture their translators interpreted as pleasure. "Indeed, Doctor. The galaxy is teeming with life. Your species is rather unique, however. You evolved remarkably quickly from primitive technology to space travel." They were led to a grand chamber where representatives of various species sat in tiered seating. At the center stood a being unlike any they'd seen, seemingly composed of crystalline structures that refracted light in hypnotic patterns. "Humans of Earth." The being's voice resonated not through sound but directly in their minds. "I am High Counselor Xylith. We have watched your species with great interest. Your adaptability and resourcefulness are impressive." Elena detected something in the tone, not quite condescension, but perhaps caution. "High Counselor," she replied. "Earth is eager to learn from the Council and contribute what we can to galactic civilization." "As it should be," Xylith responded. "All species benefit from cooperation. You will be granted access to our knowledge repositories, technical databanks, and cultural archives. In return, we ask only that you share your unique perspectives. Ambassador Xorax will guide you during your stay." The first weeks were a whirlwind of discovery and exchange. Dr. Okafor studied advanced propulsion systems that made their revolutionary FTL drive look primitive. Dr. Chen cataloged thousands of species and their biological adaptations. Major Wilson observed defense technology centuries beyond Earth's capabilities. Their medical science is incredible, Dr. Chen told Elena during one of their private briefings. They can regrow limbs, cure genetic diseases, even transfer consciousness between bodies. Their power generation systems operate at nearly perfect efficiency. Dr. Okafor added, "We could solve Earth's energy crisis overnight with this technology." Only Major Wilson seemed troubled. "Something feels off, Commander. The aliens are selective about what they share. Anything with potential military applications is restricted." Elena had noticed this too. "Perhaps it's caution. We're newcomers." "Maybe," Wilson frowned. "But I've seen how they look at us when they think we're not watching. It's not respect. It's concern. Maybe even fear." As the months passed, Elena's own suspicions grew. Their questions about certain technologies were deflected. Access to some areas of the station was restricted. And always, there were the whispered conversations that stopped when humans approached. Dr. Okafor made a breakthrough during the third month. "Commander," she reported during a secure briefing in their quarters, "I've been analyzing the Council's communication protocols. There's an encrypted channel they don't think we can access." "What have you found?" Elena asked. "Fragments mostly, but enough to be concerning." Okafor brought up a holographic display. "They're discussing containment protocols for Earth." "Containment?" Major Wilson's expression darkened. "As in quarantine." "As in control," Okafor clarified. "They see us as a potential threat. They're debating whether to guide our development or implement more direct measures." Elena felt cold dread forming in her stomach. "Keep monitoring. Gather everything you can, but maintain the appearance of cooperation." The revelation came during what was supposed to be a ceremonial dinner celebrating Earth's provisional membership in the Council. High Counselor Zilith approached Elena privately. "Your species adapts quickly, Commander Reyes. Perhaps too quickly. The Council has concerns." "Concerns, Counselor? Your technological progression is unprecedented. Within a century, you went from primitive flight to faster-than-light travel. Your biological adaptability is equally remarkable. Some members fear what humanity might become without guidance." "Guidance?" Elena kept her voice level despite her rising alarm. "A treaty will be presented tomorrow. Earth will receive protection, technology, and trade rights in exchange for certain restrictions." "What kind of restrictions?" "Nothing unreasonable. Oversight of military development. Integration of your defense systems with Council protocols. Regulation of certain research areas." Xylith's crystalline form pulsed with light. "For galactic security, you understand." That night, Elena convened an emergency meeting with her crew. "They don't want allies," she said grimly. "They want subjects." "The treaty is a trap," Major Wilson agreed. "Once signed, Earth would lose its sovereignty." "We need to warn Earth," Officer Patel said. "But all communications are monitored." Dr. Okafor spoke up. "I've been developing a secure transmission method using quantum entanglement. They won't detect it, but range is limited. We'd need to get closer to the relay station near the edge of the system. Which means getting off this station with our ship," Elena concluded. "They'll never allow that once they present the treaty." They formulated a desperate plan. During the treaty presentation the next day, Elena appeared cooperative while her crew made preparations. The treaty document confirmed their worst fears. Buried in diplomatic language were clauses that would effectively turn Earth into a vassal state. "This requires careful consideration," Elena told Zilith, stalling for time. "Our protocols require thorough review before signing." "Of course," Zilith replied, though the crystalline pulses quickened. "Take the day to study it. We expect your favorable response by tomorrow's cycle." As Elena left the chamber, an alarm suddenly blared throughout the station. "Security alert. announced an automated voice. Unauthorized access detected in Docking Bay 17. Kexorax approached rapidly. Commander Rise, your crew has breached security protocols. This is most concerning. There must be some mistake, Elena replied, knowing her team was executing their escape plan. No mistake. Kexorax's voice hardened. Sensors detect your vessel powering up without authorization. This action violates. Elena never heard what it violated. Major Wilson's team had circled back to extract her, stunning Kexorax with an electromagnetic pulse device they'd secretly developed. We need to move, Commander, Wilson urged. Security forces are converging. They fought their way to the docking bay, using non-lethal tactics against the station's security. The Pathfinder's engines were already cycling up when they arrived. Dr. Okafor at the controls. Get us out of here, Lieutenant, Elena ordered as they sealed the airlock. The Pathfinder broke free from its moorings, accelerating away from Nexus Prime as defensive systems activated around them. Alien vessels scrambled to intercept. Hyperspace drive charging, Quan reported. 30 seconds to jump capability. They're hailing us, Paddle said. Multiple channels. Ignore them, Elena ordered. Focus on the transmission to Earth. They need to know what we've discovered. The Pathfinder shuddered as energy weapons impacted their shields. Dr. Okafor's modifications held, but barely. 15 seconds to jump, Quan announced. Transmission ready, Dr. Okafor reported. Sending data packet now. The quantum signal fired, carrying their warning and all the intelligence they'd gathered directly to Earth through the entangled particles they'd left behind. Jump in 5. 4. Quan counted down as more alien vessels closed in. Transmission complete, Okafor confirmed. 2, 1, jump. The Pathfinder vanished into hyperspace just as the Council ships were about to surround them, leaving behind a station in chaos and a council whose true nature had been exposed. On Earth, military bases and scientific installations received the warning. The Galactic Council was not humanity's friend. They had 6 months before the Council would arrive with demands, or worse. It was time for humanity to prepare. Earth's devastating counterattack. 6 months after the Pathfinder's desperate escape, Earth had transformed. The warning from Commander Reyes and her crew had galvanized humanity like nothing before. Ancient rivalries were set aside as nations pooled resources and knowledge in preparation for what was coming. Admiral Helena Rodriguez stood in the United Earth Defense Command Center beneath the Rocky Mountains, watching holographic displays tracking orbital defenses and fleet positions. Around her, military officers and scientists from dozens of nations worked with singular purpose. Status report, she ordered. General Li Feng, commander of Earth's newly formed Space Force, stepped forward. Operation Trojan Horse is proceeding on schedule. The diplomatic vessel is prepared for launch. All special modifications are complete. Dr. Vivek Sharma, head of the Advanced Weapons Division, nodded in agreement. The adaptations to Counselor Zilith's transmission have proven effective in trials. Subject simulations show a 94% success rate. And the fleet? Rodriguez asked. Disguised as commercial vessels and orbital platforms, Lai replied. The metamaterial cloaking works exactly as Commander Rice's data indicated it would. Council sensors will only detect what we want them to see. The intelligence brought back by the Pathfinder had been invaluable. Dr. Okafor's team had reverse-engineered key technologies from the data they'd stolen. What would have taken decades of research had been accomplished in months through round-the-clock effort and humanity's greatest minds working in concert. Rodriguez's aide interrupted. Admiral, we're receiving the expected transmission from the edge of the solar system. Right on schedule, Rodriguez noted grimly. Put it through. The holographic display shifted to show High Counselor Xylith, crystalline form pulsing with what they now recognized as irritation. People of Earth, Xylith's telepathic voice resonated through the specialized receivers. The Galactic Council expresses disappointment at the actions of your representatives. Their theft of proprietary data and violation of diplomatic protocols cannot be overlooked. Rodriguez stepped forward. Counselor Xylith, I am Admiral Rodriguez of Earth's Unified Command. We received troubling information from our representatives about the Council's true intentions. Misunderstandings, Admiral. Your species is young and prone to misinterpretation. We come with peaceful intentions to integrate Earth into the galactic community. By stripping away our sovereignty, Rodriguez challenged. The treaty your council prepared would have reduced Earth to a client state. Xylith's crystalline structure flickered. Such measures are temporary. For your protection and the galaxy's security, your species develops too rapidly, too unpredictably. Guidance is necessary. We respectfully decline such guidance, Rodriguez replied. Earth wishes to join the galactic community as equals, not subjects. That is regrettable. Xylith's tone hardened. The Council has voted. Earth will be brought into compliance. Our fleet will arrive within your solar system in 14 of your days. Prepare your leaders to sign the revised treaty or face the consequences of isolation. The transmission ended. They're still underestimating us, Dr. Sharma observed. They think their show of force will intimidate us into submission. Their mistake, Rodriguez replied. Initiate Phase 1. Launch the diplomatic vessel in 12 days. Make it look like we're preparing to negotiate. The next 2 weeks saw feverish activity as Earth completed its preparations while maintaining the appearance of a civilization frightened into compliance. Officially, world leaders debated the merits of the treaty while preparing for negotiations. Behind the scenes, the final components of Operation Trojan Horse were put into place. On the 12th day, a single vessel, the UES Olive Branch, launched from Earth, ostensibly carrying diplomatic representatives to meet the approaching Council fleet. In reality, it carried something far different. The Council's armada appeared exactly as predicted. 50 vessels of various sizes emerging from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. At their center was a massive command ship where Xylith waited, confident in the Council's technological superiority. Admiral, General Lai reported, Council fleet has arrived and is hailing the Olive Branch. Let them proceed, Rodriguez ordered. Activate all defense systems, but keep them powered down. We don't want to show our hand too early. On the main view screen, they watched as the Olive Branch approached the Council's command ship. The small Earth vessel was dwarfed by the alien craft surrounding it. Olive Branch has docked, Lai confirmed. Phase 2 commencing. Aboard the Council command ship, Xylith awaited the human delegation with a mixture of anticipation and disdain. Humans were clever, yes, but ultimately primitive. They would understand the futility of resistance when faced with the Council's power. The airlock opened, and humans in formal attire entered. But instead of approaching with diplomatic overtures, they activated devices concealed within their clothing. Instantly, a specialized quantum field propagated throughout the ship, penetrating the crystalline structures of Xylith and other Council members. Back on Earth, Dr. Sharma watched his instruments with mounting excitement. The quantum resonance is working. Their neural networks are being disrupted. The Council's greatest advantage had always been their unified consciousness, a telepathic network that allowed instantaneous communication and coordination. What they never expected was that this network could be turned against them. Using the transmissions from Xylith as a template, Earth scientists had developed a quantum disruption field that interfered with the Council's telepathic abilities. Throughout the command ship, then spreading to the rest of the fleet, confusion reigned as the aliens found themselves cut off from their collective consciousness for the first time in millennia. Phase 3, Rodriguez ordered. Launch the fleet. Across Earth orbit, what had appeared to be commercial stations and satellites suddenly transformed. Metamaterial cloaking fell away, revealing hundreds of warships equipped with technologies reverse-engineered from the Council's own data. They accelerated toward the disoriented alien fleet at speeds that would have been impossible 6 months earlier. The Council ships, unable to coordinate effectively, found themselves surrounded. Their advanced weapons systems required the neural network to function at peak efficiency. Without it, they were operating at a fraction of their capability. UES retribution is in position, General Lai reported, targeting the command ship's propulsion systems. Fire, Rodriguez ordered. Precision strikes disabled the alien vessels without destroying them. Within hours, the entire Council fleet had been neutralized with minimal casualties on either side. Admiral, her aide reported, we're receiving surrender signals from multiple Council vessels. Rodriguez nodded. Open a channel to Zilith. The crystalline being appeared on screen, its usual brilliance dimmed, patterns chaotic. How? It demanded. How did primitives like you overcome our technology? You underestimated humanity, Counselor, Rodriguez replied calmly. You saw our adaptability as a threat rather than recognizing it as our greatest strength. While you were planning to subjugate us, we were learning from you. The Council will not accept this defeat, Zilith warned. Other fleets will come. Perhaps, Rodriguez acknowledged. But they'll find a prepared Earth, and the data packets we've transmitted to your homeworlds will ensure everyone knows how easily your defenses were overcome. I imagine that will cause quite the political upheaval. What do you want? Zilith asked, defeat evident in its tone. A genuine alliance. Equal standing in the galactic community. Mutual respect. The very things you should have offered from the beginning. In the following weeks, a new treaty was negotiated, one that recognized Earth as a sovereign power and established protocols for true cooperation. The Council, shaken by its defeat and the widespread knowledge of their attempted subjugation of Earth, had little choice but to agree. 1 year after first contact, Commander Elena Reyes, now Admiral Reyes, returned to Nexus Prime, this time commanding a fleet of Earth vessels. As she stood in the Council chamber, she reflected on how much had changed. The treaty is ratified, announced the new High Counselor, a being from a species that had long advocated for more inclusive policies. Earth is formally recognized as a full member of the Galactic Council, with all rights and responsibilities thereof. Across the chamber, Reyes caught sight of Zilith, now merely one representative among many, its crystalline form diminished in stature. Their eyes, or what passed for eyes, met briefly. Humanity thanks the Council for its wisdom, Reyes responded formally. We look forward to a new era of true cooperation. As the ceremony concluded, Ambassador Thorax approached her. Your species continues to surprise us, Admiral Reyes. Many thought humans would seek revenge, perhaps even destruction of the Council. That's not our way, Reyes replied. We fight when threatened, but prefer peace when possible. The galaxy is vast enough for all of us to thrive together. A lesson the Council needed to learn, Exorax acknowledged. Though I must ask, how did you know our neural network could be disrupted in such a manner? Reyes smiled. You shared your cultural archives with us, remember? While you were focusing on restricting weapons technology, we were studying your art, your music, your philosophy. We learned how your minds work, and that told us everything we needed to know. As Reyes returned to her ship, she gazed out at the stars, no longer strange and threatening, but full of possibility. Earth's devastating counterattack had indeed left the Galactic Council speechless, but more importantly, it had established a new balance of power. Humanity had earned its place among the stars not through conquest, but through intelligence, adaptability, and the courage to stand against overwhelming odds. The message was clear throughout the galaxy: underestimate humans at your peril.